everyone, and welcome to episode 73 of the Play to Win podcast. My name is Keiran. I'm, of course, joined by my awesome, fantastic, superb, marvelous co-host, Tyler. How are you doing?
I I am recovering today from a very long, hectic, busy week. Went over the details about it all with Keiran in detail. Not going to go in detail with it with everyone here, but let's just say I had like wedding related events to participate in Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday it was birthday related events with my girlfriend Friday and Saturday. So those days were all very busy and hectic. And then Monday and Tuesday, I didn't get to play anything because my brother's Xbox died on Monday night. So I was downloading Destiny 2 on my Xbox so that he could play it before he went on the trip. Before he went on his trip with my mom to San Francisco. And so that he could play it once he gets back and, has an Xbox to play on here at my house because I don't play my Xbox too often. So like, I don't mind doing it. But I told him like, we'll figure out a system for like, when I want to play my Xbox or whatnot, I'll just like take it back and stuff like that. So it's been a busy week, long days, no time to play. Like I played for maybe an hour and a half this week of total. That was like maybe 30 minutes of Rollerdrome and then like an hour of Destiny 2's new season. And even that was just like the very first mission, nothing more than that. And then just like looking at the new things for the Arc 3.0 and stuff. Like I have had not a chance to play anything. So it's been a busy week, a long week. The one bright side, I forgot about that. The one bright side, student loans been forgiven. And Biden said, I got my student loan forgiveness plan up to $20,000 if you had a Pell Grant, $10,000 if you didn't. I didn't. My loans are forgiven. My loans are done.
Nice.
I only had like $1,660 left over, but it doesn't matter to me because that is 2 months less that I don't have to worry about paying for loans.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a struggle this year, mentally, financially, because I've been determined to get them done this year. So to not have to worry about it, to not have it on my plate right now, it is a godsend. It is a lifesaver. I'm so very happy about that. So now I can actually start to live my life and start to make the life I want to live for myself.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe Biden.
At long last, like, dude, like campaigned on this and everything. And like, now we're finally here. And I realized that, like I was far more fortunate and lucky than many other people and that I was able to that I had much less loans than many people did, that I was able to keep paying my loans while I was here, while during the pandemic and all like that. Like many circumstances allowed me to be more fortunate and lucky than others who still have like dozens or hundreds of thousands of dollars of loan debt and whatnot. So I do not want to downplay that at all. I'm just very happy for myself. And that's what matters.
Yeah, I'm very happy that in Scotland we got our tuition paid for. So
lucky you.
Yeah, the Scottish government's quite good in that regard.
Yeah, maybe we can take some learnings from you all and just apply them here. But that would never happen because the American government is just no one can agree on anything.
No. Anyway, this is the Play to Win podcast, a show where we break down the week's biggest gaming news through in-depth discussion. Just subscribe on YouTube. It's a little red button just below this on you if you're watching on YouTube. It takes 3 seconds to click. Just go ahead and click that. You'll get new content every week, and take the notification bell so you know when the new content comes out. If you're on podcast services, there will be a subscribe button somewhere. You should click that. It's a good show.
Mm-hmm. And also leave those lovely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star reviews.
Yeah, algorithms are tricky to navigate. Everything helps.
Yes, it all does. Shares, likes, comments, subscriptions, notifications, reviews, everything. It's all appreciated and helpful.
Yeah. But on this week's episode, we are going to be, of course, talking about Gamescom Opening Night Live, all the stuff that was announced there, and the PS5 price increase that was announced this week. I'm sure we'll have a few thoughts on that. But first, we're going to take a trip to Neptune. And we are going to go into the Destiny 2 showcase that was same day as Opening Night Live, I believe a little earlier.
It was like 2 hours earlier.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
In which we got our first look at Lightfall. And just before we get into anything, I was quite surprised when we saw Lightfall. I did not think that it would be this theme at all.
Neither did I, because I was thinking back to 3 years ago, I think, after Beyond Light was first. I think after Beyond Light first came out, or when it was about to come out, I remember Bungie had a showcase in which they teased the next like 3 expansions. So they had teased the Witch Queen, they had showed the titles, Witch Queen's title, Lightfall, and then the final shape. And the title treatment for Lightfall was very different. It had like a more serious type of text font, and then it was like the Black Pyramid over the Traveler. It had like a more darker tone to it. So that's what I was expecting going into this. And then we get this, and it's in this cyberpunk environment, and like the narration and everything is seeming ominous and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you see like the title treatment and everything. And like it's funny, I saw this, I was like, wow, Lightfall's title treatment looks exactly like the title treatment for Lightyear that just came out.
Oh my god, like, I didn't even make that.
Almost to a T. But I was like, it looks so different, just like tonally from what I was expecting, at least in terms of like the vibe that it was initially giving. But I'm so into it though. Like I'm so into it.
Yeah, like I am 100% here for it. The second I can, I am pre-ordering that and the annual pass, because like this, I genuinely don't think I have ever been as excited for a Destiny expansion as I am about Lightfall.
Yeah, it's been, I think back in my heyday, I was like super hyped for Taken King. And then after that, of course, Destiny 2, brand new release. But after that, I haven't been like as hyped for a new one since then. Like Lightfall is a new one I'm super hyped for. Like I've been excited for Beyond Light and Witch Queen, but that was from an outsider looking in. It's like, oh man, it makes me want to get back into Destiny.
Yeah.
Being back into Destiny, I am hyped for Lightfall.
Yeah.
Just with everything coming to it and everything we can expect, I'm super excited for this.
Well, let's talk about some of the things we can expect in Lightfall. As I mentioned before, we're heading to Neptune, somewhere that we haven't been before in Destiny 1 or 2. And we're going to be heading to a city called Neomuna, which is a city. Neomuna. Sorry, I have Neomuna here. Neomuna, which is a city that until now has remained hidden. Nobody knew it existed.
It's been a mystery to everyone.
Yeah,
that's why I'm really intrigued to see like, okay, what's gonna be going on here? What are we gonna learn when we get here, and all like that.
One thing that I'm actually really excited by is this isn't a city that was affected by the collapse. Like when you look at like suddenly blanking on every Destiny place, but like if you look at like just the last city, for example, it's a place that like is a little rundown. It's slums. It was affected quite heavily. Or the like places on Europa, for example, like they are all like abandoned or no longer in use. Neomuna looks like it's going to be like a city, like just one that is still active, one that still has people in it. But Callus has decided to park his ship in it. So
he said, "Hey guys, I'm here. How's it going?" And real quick, I did think when we first saw the trailer, I was like, oh shoot, we're fighting in the last city. It's going down.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
They said it's Neomuna. I was like, slightly disappointed, but also excited to see what this is gonna be about.
Yeah. So, well, as I mentioned, we're fighting Callus, which after last season, I'm not terribly surprised by, considering he was like the main antagonist.
Like behind the scenes and all. It's kind of like, and they said at the end, like, yep, he's with the Witness now. He's over there.
Yeah, taking a bubble bath by the looks of it, but
seemingly.
But so last season we had to stop Callus. That was the whole like nightmare thing. We didn't stop him. He ascended and is now best buddies with the Witness, who, like, one, every time I see the Witness's character art, it just blows me away because it looks awesome. But two, every time I hear Callus's voice, it sends a chill down my spine a little bit.
Callus's or Witnesses?
Callus's.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you like mistakenly referred to him.
No,
I'm into this. I'm into their crew, the group that they got going on. Like there's all these theories that the Witness is going to build up their army of like allies. So Aramis is seemingly the next person that the Witness is trying to recruit. We'll see how that goes down with this new season of the Plunder. I'm interested. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes down. It's gonna be exciting, and I think, I mean, the final shape is the final gonna be like final DLC, the final like the ending of this Light and Darkness saga.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting, a kind of like a cool full circle thing, how the Cabal were the big antagonists at the beginning of Destiny 2. And now we're getting like this climactic point in the Light and Darkness saga, and they are like the big bads again, like coming for blood.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually quite excited to fight. I think the Shadow Legion is what they're called. Like Callus's new army. Like their character design just looks really cool. Loving the purple armor. Purple's my favorite color, so
of course,
I'm digging it.
Naturally.
But like I'm also really interested because like the Cabal to me are like I don't want to say they're the most boring enemy, but like it's not terribly hard to fight the Cabal. Whereas in some encounters like the Fallen or the Vex, especially in my opinion, it's been a little bit difficult. So hearing that the Shadow Legion has new like abilities and they're stronger and their armor does more, that's something that has me a little bit excited. And because I do like to be challenged in Destiny, maybe not to the extent of like my time with what was that mission I couldn't do that was super easy?
Preservation.
Right, yeah, preservation. Maybe not that extent, but yeah, maybe just a little bit more challenge with the Cabal.
Yeah.
One thing that I also thought was actually quite interesting they showed off was well, they didn't show off, they told. I wasn't aware that 2/3 of people who complete the Witch Queen campaign did it on Legendary.
I didn't know either. I mean, I don't follow the stats or anything like that.
Well,
I
neither
haven't
do
done it
I.
on Legendary yet.
Neither have I.
I think I will at some point in time. Just when I feel like I'm up for the challenge, I'll do it. But it's cool that it's going to be back for Lightfall. As like, hey, we'll have this here from jump if you want to do a Legendary campaign. That's awesome for people who enjoy that.
Yeah, I just need to find a group that'll run a Legendary campaign because there's no way I'll be able to do it by myself.
I'm going to do it solo.
Oh, up for a challenge, are we?
yeah, for sure. If I can't do it, if I get to a certain point, I can't do it by solo anymore. I'll just see if I grab a crew, but solo.
Yeah, fair. But something that actually might make it a little bit easier is Strand. That awesome or that cool green energy we saw in the trailer for Lightfall. I'm glad they'd like told us what that was and they didn't just leave it as like you'll have to wonder a bit longer, because after they started describing it, I'm like, well, they started it, I'm like, this sounds like my new subclass, and then they kept going, I'm like, this sounds like my new subclass, and then they got into the grappling hook, I'm like, yep, it's my new subclass.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, all in the lead up to this reveal, everyone was theorizing, that the next subclass is going to be a poison themed subclass at all.
Yeah.
Because there's been more poison themed weapons and all. The egregore stuff was going on. Like, there were a lot of people theorizing, poison or decay will be like the next type of subclass, and it'll be a green color. Which is why when there was a leak a few weeks ago of, I think it was like some artists at the company. It was like showing concept of like different finishers or whatever, and in the HUD you saw green, like green super thing, and then the green ability icons and stuff. So people were like, "Oh wait, whoa, what's this going on?" Now it's Strand. It's not poison or decay. It's this Strand thing, which is super neat, super cool. And low key makes me a tad jealous. I'm not a hunter. It makes me think I might create a hunter just so I can mess around with their Strand super ability.
Yeah, makes me happy that I did choose Hunter, because out of the three of them, I'm like, that's definitely the coolest one.
Oh, for sure, the coolest. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so the Strand is essentially, there is this energy that is powered by darkness, or is darkness, but there's this psychic energy that exists essentially everywhere, connects all living things, is invisible but ever present, and in Lightfall, you're going to be able to like learn how to like harness it into into weapons and into abilities that apparently nobody else in the universe has ever used.
We are the first Jedi and Sith. We are accessing the Force. We have seen the midichlorians, and we are accessing them and bending them to our will.
Exactly. I'm so hyped for Strand. It looks awesome. The three new supers that we're gonna get, I've got them here. So Titans are gonna be able to create what they call strand claws, which are essentially these like triangular blade-like things on your hands, and they will leap into the air, spin around, and do a bunch of damage in a large area.
Which is neat.
Cool. Yeah, and I honestly think that that's the one I like. I like the visual look of best. Like that's
Yeah,
the one
but
that I
no,
think looks the most badass.
I think the rope dart just looks the coolest. Rope dart still
Fair.
looks the coolest. The strand claws are like the second coolest, I think. But the rope dart, it just looks cool. You got it. You're just
Yeah,
like there's you just can't deny that just visually looks awesome.
it does. Another one that visually looks awesome is the warlocks, who will be able to, I think, like I said, like reach into the strand and create things from it. And their super will be creating. I didn't catch how many, but they will create strand missiles that you will be able to launch towards enemies. They stick to them and then they explode after a short while.
Yeah, I forgot exactly the amount as well. Nonetheless, still seems super cool. Still
Yeah.
into it for sure. I hope it's strong. Again, these are things where you just got to see more about it, got to learn more about it to
Yeah.
get an idea of like, okay, how much I'm gonna like it at all. But for what I've seen, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, well, something that I think we agree on that we like a lot is the Hunter's super, which we've mentioned, is the rope dart that can be flung
Yep.
forward to pierce through enemies or spun to create damage in a certain area. 100% my favorite. 100% the one I'm a hunter, so that's the one I'll get. But I'm certainly not complaining.
It just looks so cool. That just looks so awesome. Like when they first broke it out at the end of the trailer, I was just like, oh. And then you saw like the little bit of like the behind the scenes developer like gameplay and everything like that of them using each of the supers. And you saw that, I was just like, oh, come on. Really? Like I have a Titan that like I just made one. I made a Titan in original Destiny just because like I was like, oh, I'm making another class just for the fun of it and stuff. Didn't really do much with them, but now I'm like, all right, y'all gonna make me make a hunter now, and I'm like, come on, I don't know if I have the
Yeah.
time for two characters. I don't know.
I mean, you should get one of those items that boost your power level up to whatever
No,
it needs
that
to
I
be.
mean, that's not the problem. It's more so just like jumping between two different
Yeah.
characters and do it. That's what it is. It's like
Fair. Yeah, I can imagine that would be annoying. I think I have a hunter and a titan, although I never touch the titan. I think he's power
same
like
here.
1356.
That's mine is whatever it got boosted to with the new
Yeah.
update. That's exactly what mine is at.
But I think my favorite thing about Strand is going to be that grappling hook.
That is super cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the gameplay they showed of it, where like you're in the battlefield and you're like in like an enemy encounter with what looks like quite a few enemies, and you're just zipping about, you're swinging around, and like my favorite thing is you can just do it anywhere. Like you don't have to go
Yes.
to a certain grapple point. There isn't certain areas you can do it. It's just you want to use it, go ahead. They
Mhm.
did say that there will be specific areas you can only get to with the grapple hook, but there isn't a limit on where you can use it.
Yeah, which is awesome. So like I'm really like I'm really curious to see what the level design is going to be like,
Yeah.
not just for missions, but also just Neomuna itself in terms of like reaching hidden areas or to find secret things and all like that. Because they're going to be like using the grappling hook and integrating it in that type of way.
Yep.
But yeah, like when they first showed it in the trailer, at first I was like, is this only for one class or is this for everyone? And then they said, yeah, at first it was gonna be a hunter specific thing, but then we were like, no, this is too much fun. We're gonna give it to everyone. It's like, thank you, thank you.
Yep.
It looks super cool when like you mentioned how they showed it being used in combat and everything. I immediately just like got flashbacks to Halo Infinite when I was playing that and just like
Yeah.
grappling hook around, like grapple hook into the air, then shoot down and everything like that. I'm just like straight up Titanfall, Halo Infinite vibes right there. And like that's just gonna make Destiny's combat is already, I feel, dynamic enough where like
Mhm.
it can have you constantly on the move and constantly feeling cool. Like with you do the jump in the air and then you're gliding and shooting as you're gliding at the same time. Like that already is super awesome.
Yeah.
But now like having the grappling hook as a mechanic is just gonna elevate things to a whole nother level. It's gonna make combat even more dynamic and more exciting and more fun and more fluid. And Destiny's
Yeah.
gunplay is already top notch. Like best in class. I think the only other first person shooter whose gunplay is like surpassed his Destinies would be Call of Duty, and I feel like that comes out of personal
Yeah.
taste at this
Yeah.
point in time. Like either you might prefer Destinies or you might prefer Call of Duties, but they're both like best in class.
Mhm.
So adding this to it, I'm sure Bungie is going to nail it. I'm so sure they're going to nail it.
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing that I actually really appreciated that they touched on was in the stream, they were like, we understand that like we built our roots as a first person shooter, and we want to bring a bigger focus back to making Destiny 2 like one of the best first person shooters you can get. So I'm glad, like I think this is going to go away to that. There, like as you said, Destiny 2's combat is already dynamic enough. You've already got a bunch of different ways you can engage, but giving you one more is never going to hurt, especially when it's in the form of the grapple hook.
Yeah. I just thought real quick though. I wonder how the grappling hook is going to be balanced for multiplayer for PvP.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna introduce a doozy right there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a doozy for sure.
Yeah, for other people, I would assume yes. I haven't touched Crucible, I think, since Destiny 2 came out, so I'm good on that regard.
I did a bit before this new season started, but I'm just curious, just in terms of how, and like if we're gonna be getting new multiplayer maps. I don't think Destiny 2's gotten any new PvP maps in a hot minute. So like, how are this going to be balanced for the new map, for the current maps, and any new maps that they might do? Like, it's going to be really interesting. Like PvP is going to be a real major area of importance in regards to the grappling hook.
Oh yeah, balance. Yeah, for sure. I actually might hop into Crucible just to see how it all works when we eventually do get our hands on Strand.
Yeah.
But something else that's going to be introduced in Neomuna is people called Cloud Striders, which Bungie made a point of kind of explaining that they're not entirely dissimilar to Guardians, but Guardians were, quote, chosen by the light and it's their duty to protect and fight for humanity, whereas Cloud Striders chose to protect their city. So I'm wondering how the dynamic is going to be between the Cloud Striders and the Guardians, if the Cloud Striders are going to be a bit proud, we'll say.
Yeah. I just think that their design looks cool.
Oh yeah,
the design looks cool, and like the hints of their technology with their weapons is very exciting. Especially like since it gives me an idea of okay, what type of weapons we could be expecting from the Lightfall expansion, especially since the new exotic auto rifle you can get if you pre-order the $100 edition of the game, the super annual pass version of it and all like that. Like it gives you this exotic auto rifle, which is also a grenade launcher, which is also a rocket launcher at the same time. And I'm just like, oh, that's super cool. So I'm really curious to see what the weapon designs are going to be like and the armor designs and stuff. Like I'm excited about this. And also just to learn about the Cloud Striders again, just everything lore wise surrounding Neomuna and Lightfall. It's all just like brand new territory. Yeah. So it's just ripe for, picking and digging and all.
Yeah, and well, I'm pretty certain that everyone can agree. If there's one thing that Destiny does very well, it's lore.
It does it well, and it's improved on how it presents that lore. It wasn't always the best in presentation in the past, but they have improved on that.
Yeah. So the last thing that I think we have to talk about Lightfall is Tormentors, which are quite scary by the looks of it. They're going to pose a very big challenge in combat, but their character design is top notch.
Yes. Yeah. I love their look. I love their look so much.
Oh, they look terrifying. Like if you run into battle and you see that coming towards you, then like I think you should be a little scared. Again, they made quite a point of saying like this is something that is going to really challenge you in combat because they are heavy hitting, they are hard to kill, and don't stop coming. So especially with those like massive size that they have, then I honestly think that can actually add quite a bit to combat.
Yeah, it's like once they enter the field, it's just like, okay, prioritize. Do I take out the ad? Do I take out all the ads, or do I focus on them first? Like, what do I do? How do I approach this? It's gonna be awesome. It seems like they're gonna be really cool.
Yeah, which is something that we're gonna have to try out on February 28th next year when Lightfall launches.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. I already got it locked in on my my doc of big game releases for next year. I got it locked in day one, all bolted, and like ready to go. I'm ready.
Yep, me too. As you mentioned, anyone who pre-orders are live now, and as Tyler mentioned, anyone who pre-orders it will get the new exotic. I forget what they call the exotic rifle, but the new exotic auto rifle upon purchase.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called as well, but it is cool. I haven't used it. My brother said that some of the people he was playing with were using it, and that it's actually pretty dangerous. It's pretty terrifying. So I am looking forward to pre-ordering and getting it. I probably will pre-order it later in the year. I'm not gonna pre-order it right now. But I am looking forward to pre-ordering it and getting that and getting my hands on it and all.
Yeah, me too. The alt rifle is called Quicksilver Storm.
There you go.
Thought I'd throw that in there. But yes, like I am like I say, Lightfall is easily the one expansion I am most hyped for out of any that have come before in Destiny 2. It just looks really, really good.
Yeah, like just the gameplay things they're bringing to it. And then the story, where the story is seeming to go right now, how we're reaching this climactic point. It's exciting. I'm really interested in seeing where the story goes. And also more so just like seeing how we get to that point as well in the story.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the key art as well, something that people didn't notice right away, but I noticed it like that same day. Osiris is in the key art for Lightfall.
Oh, I did not see that.
He is. If there's the key art where you have, it has like the Guardians on the front, and then like in the shade, in the pieces of glass, it has different characters, I think, or whatnot. It's something like on the top. You have different characters. You see like part of their face. Callus is one. The Witness is another. Cloud Strider is one of them. And I think there's some other character, but on the far left side is Osiris. Osiris, if I'm correct, is supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, wait a minute, he's there. How is he coming back into play?
That's really interesting. That's actually blowing my mind a little bit.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how we get to the beginning of Lightfall, where Lightfall takes us, and what happens. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Destiny, Bungie, give it to me.
Exactly. I'm also quite excited to see where we go after the Light and Darkness saga, because they did say that Destiny 2 is still going to be supported for years to come. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see what if they have a next saga and what that's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be similar, to like after Endgame. It's like, all right, what's next after Endgame? Or I guess I don't know if World of Warcraft had an equivalent of like their Light and Darkness saga. But Final Fantasy 14 had their equivalent with Endwalker. Like Endwalker was the culmination of the whole story that had been taking place up to that point. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, what's going to come after Endwalker? Where are we going from here? Now it's like, from what I understand, building up to like, all right, here's the start of this next arc or saga or whatever you want to call it for Final Fantasy 14. So big times, big exciting times ahead coming with a Lightfall.
Yeah. And now we're going to talk about a few other things that are coming with Lightfall, but I put them in a different category because they're not. I would say they're important, maybe not as important as some of the story stuff, but I think
I would argue some of these I think are.
Oh yes, some of them are for sure.
Yeah, some of these are just as important. It's crazy.
Yeah. So Bungie is actively working to make Destiny 2 easier to get into for new players and to find new people to play with, which is something that I have wanted for a long time.
Yeah, you and many others.
Yeah, like I play Destiny 2 entirely solo. I think I've only teamed up with like maybe 2 teams since Destiny 2 came out. So this is something, I mean, not for lack of trying, but just whenever I see like a looking for group post, it's always like, know what you're doing, or you have to have these requirements. And I'm like, just stop. Okay. But one thing that they're gonna be introducing is Guardian ranks, which sound actually very interesting. So these are ranks that are arriving alongside Lightfall, and they're a way to kind of like show off what you've done to new players, like show off your accomplishments. But they are something that other players can look at and then decide, okay, this person's actually really invested in the game. They've done quite a lot. I'm going to see if this person wants to team up and maybe show me the ropes of some other things, which they did mention that for some of the higher ranks is actually going to be required to do.
Yeah, in order to like get progressing more in the Guardian ranks and all, which is neat. Yeah. It's a neat way for those who again are new to the games to like find experienced players and not just go by, inspect a person. Oh, they have all like max level gear and stuff.
Yeah,
they must be good at the game. That doesn't tell you like what type of player they are or anything like that. It just tells you that they're heavily invested. So that is a good way for new people to see and find people just like while they're in a social hub, like in the tower or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this person seems like they're like a good person, like they're friendly, welcoming face and all like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I could try getting in touch with them. And then on the other end, for the higher end players, it gives them incentive to, step up and help other players get through activities in the game and all like that. And if you are invested in having a high guardian rank and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good for people who like the only game they play is Destiny 2. It's going to be, again, good for them
Yes.
to like show off what they've done and also kind of maybe sherpa a few new people in.
Exactly.
Another cool thing that they're adding, like we mentioned before, is they're adding in a looking for group system directly in
At
Destiny
long
2.
last.
Yeah, they kind of had this with guided game, but that's been in beta and it's not.
Yeah, like this is completely different. Like a whole menu. It's like, hey, here's a separate menu. Here are different activities people like put out their, requests for that they're looking for group and everything, and you can just go to each one and click on it. And it's awesome at long last.
Yeah. Another thing that's coming alongside Lightfall are commendations. So, once you've played a match of Gambit or you've done a raid or a strike or whatever, just played with anyone else, you can vote on them and be like, you were a good teammate, you were a strong leader, you were fun to play with, which again is going to lend itself to one, having people be like, hey, look at what my stat for this is, but two, new players coming in, finding people to play with, and then looking at it and saying, hey, this person has had 13 good leader commendations. Let's maybe see if they want to do a raid.
Right. Awesome. Again, it's a little thing that'll go a long way.
Yeah. Which I honestly think is kind of like the message that they're trying to send to people is just like, you don't have to be entirely invested in the game, or you don't have to be like the best player. You can help just by playing.
Right.
If that makes sense.
I think that makes sense. I think what you're going for.
Yeah. Last kind of thing I'll talk about in this section is coming with Lightfall. Another thing coming with Lightfall is an in-game loadout system as well as a mod manager.
This is huge.
Yeah. So this honestly is honestly probably one of my favorite features that they announced. The fact that you're going to be able to set custom loadouts for you can have a raid loadout, you can have a strike loadout, you can have just a PvE loadout, but going further, you can have a Vault of Glass loadout. You can have a loadout for basically anything, and with a mod manager as well, adding certain things onto certain weapons and having one place to do all that it's gonna make it so much more convenient.
Exactly. It'll be nice to be able to have, all right, this is my arc loadout, my void loadout, my solar loadout, as opposed to switching my thing all right, let me move this over here and then switch this and everything. Trying to remember exactly what the things are and everything. Just no, I like having this equipment for this set. This is what I want it to be. Let me save this. That way I can just, change my loadouts on the fly, and not have to, constantly do the mix and match, go into the vault, grab something else, put something else back in the vault and make space and whatnot. This is going to be awesome. I'm very happy that they're doing something like this at long last.
Yeah. So it's just quality of life improvements are always great. This one especially.
For sure.
So the last little bit of, the last bit of information we got from the Destiny 2 showcase was the Season of Plunder, which is the Season 18. New season starts August 23rd, so it's already started and runs till December 6th. 100 new battle pass tiers, all new content, weekly missions, lots to do by the sounds of it. I'm really excited.
Yep, it seems cool. I'm into the pirate theme of this season.
Yes.
It's neat. It seems really fun. I like that they're getting just all right, we're just gonna have a fun time with this. We're gonna be pirates this season. We're not gonna be. It's not gonna be too heavy on the grief and going working through your trauma. It's we just did all that. Let's have a lighter themed season where we're just gonna be pirates for a couple months and have fun with that.
Yeah. I am really excited to dig into it. I think you and me at the same place. I think we've both done the first mission and that's it.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all I had time to do. I only had time this week to play the first mission of this. So I can do, catch crash and other things, but I have not done them. I just didn't have a chance to.
Me neither. As Tyler mentioned or hinted to before, Aramis has been freed, the boss from Beyond Light. Amassed an army of Fallen and Cabal, turned them all into pirates, and they're now raiding the Sea of Stars for relics. I assume they kind of hinted to this. I think that relic that the Witness is looking for.
I believe so. If they said it in the story, I don't really remember all that much. If they said it when you do the first mission and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Regardless, interesting. Very interesting. Seems like Aramis, Aramis is gonna be going towards the Witness. The Witness might have another ally.
Yeah. It seems like with what I can gather from what Bungie are planning and like the stuff in the season so far, that the Witness might be amassing like a few enemies that we fought before. Callus, Aramis. Maybe we'll see Savathun return in some way at some point. Who knows?
Well, I mean, I had thought that, but then my brother was like, "Well, no, because you guys have their not the parasite, the host. You have Savathun's host thingy, so like not Savathun. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the final army is.
Yeah. In Season of Plunder, you will be given the keys to your own ketch, so you essentially have a pirate ship.
Yep, got our own little fallen pirate ship and everything. We're just going after Aramis's pirates and all. We got our own crew. It's awesome. It's cool. It's cool vibes.
Yeah. Speaking of the crew, we're going to be joined by Drifter, Spider, Mithro, and Ido. Well, I couldn't remember Mithro and Ido when I first heard the names, but when I went into game and I saw them, I was like, "Oh, you two, okay." I've definitely seen them before. I can't remember exactly from where.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
I remembered Spider from Forsaken, but the other two I couldn't really remember all that well.
Yeah,
but regardless, got a crew.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to work with Drifter. He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he's awesome. His whole vibe is just real cool, nonchalant. It's like he's kind of fulfilled the Cade 6 vibe, but not quite. Like he's not exactly like Cade 6, but he is kind of like lackadaisical and fun like Cade 6.
Yeah, and I also think he fits like the pirate theme quite well as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. We are getting a few new activities with this new season, though. As Tyler mentioned before, Catch Crash is kind of, I think, the main one of the 3 new activities. It's a 6-player offensive where, by the looks of it, you just fire yourself through cannons and destroy catches. Which
you're basically pirate fighting, pirate ship battles.
Yeah, you're swashbuckling onto other decks. I think as Bungie put it, you're, like I say, blowing up other pirate ship or other catches. Looks like it'll be a fun time.
Right.
The second one is Expedition, which looks similar to like there's a strike that's essentially like you have to follow like a war mind.
I know what you're talking about. It's similar to missions like that in essence.
Yeah, so you're following like a power drill that's going around looking for buried treasure while you're fending off whatever kind of enemy. I'm not sure if the enemies are going to be varied or if it's just going to be like you're only fighting Fallen and you're only fighting Hive.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine the enemy you face will be set based on like which one you're doing and all. It seems like it'll be fine though. Like it could be fun, it could be boring, it could be interesting, it could just be like, hey, this is cool enough, like a public event, cool enough to do, not turn my brain off, not that intense and stuff.
Yeah, and then the third and final activity is Pirate Hideouts, where they described it as you're going to be able to find like map fragments while you're going through the season doing activities, which will essentially lead you to a pirate lord in their hideout where you'll go and destroy all the enemies, kill the lord, you'll get their treasure, which like honestly intrigues me a lot. Like I love the fact that I'm going to like piece a map together and find this hideout.
It seems like a more involved version of a lost sector to me.
Yeah.
In terms of like finding it, but once you get there, it seems like it's essentially a lost sector. Not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just like, okay, cool. That's basically what this is. Got it.
Yeah. So, like I say, season of Plunder, August 23rd to December 6th. It's on now. Go play if you have the season pass or the annual pass. It's a fun time so far, by the sounds of it. There is a few other details that are coming with this season. Again, as Tyler mentioned before, Arc 3.0 is here. They finally updated their third and final subclass.
So third of the original starting.
Third of the original, yeah.
Yep. So it seems cool. I haven't really got to fiddle around with it too much or mess around with it too much, enjoy it. And also, I'll have more of an opinion on it, I feel, next week. But it does seem cool. I think Hunters definitely get the best version of Arc 3.0, just based on the reworks. World, I think we got a bit of a shortage of the stick. Nonetheless, though, it does seem like it's going to be a cool new way to play this subclass.
Yeah, I've played around with it a little bit. I usually use the Void subclass with a bow and arrow for the hunter, but I've played around with Arc 1 a little bit. It's actually quite fun so far. I like the staff that you just lob into a boss and it just stays there, damages enemies. It's fun.
Nice.
as well as Arc 3.0, we're also getting something that I think a lot of people have wanted for a long time, which is the return of, quite honestly, a very big fan favorite Destiny 1 raid, King's Fall.
Yep, arguably the best raid that Destiny's
Yeah.
ever made, depending on who you
Mhm.
ask. I loved this raid back in the day. I used to run this
Same.
raid a lot, so it's
Mhm.
awesome that it's back. I'm not gonna be doing it anytime soon, but
No.
I do want to jump into it and give it a go. Because again, King's Fall was awesome. King's Fall was a lot of fun. That was
Yeah.
back in my Destiny heyday.
Same. Yeah, well, like when they were showing like the run, like the trailer for it, and you had Guardians running through it, I was like, oh, I remember this so well. I really want to go and do that.
Yep, I gotta remember the mechanics. I don't really remember the
Oh yeah,
mechanics
same.
much, but fun times, fun times.
Yeah. Couple other little things. In this season, once you log in and complete the first mission, you can go to the helm and you can claim the Gift of the Thunder Gods, which is a set of weapons and armor that essentially like boost your light level up to, I think it's 1540.
Something like
I
that.
think
Well,
so.
I mean, for me, each of the pieces of armor was around like 1558, 1559
Okay.
because I'm over 1550. So like it was just a
Yeah.
bit higher for me. So like I grabbed like 2 or 3 of them, but the others I just kind of left because I was like, I kind of prefer what I got on me actually. But
Fair.
thanks anyway. It's there if I want it.
Yeah. I grabbed all of it and I equipped everything bar the weapons. I think I'm good with the weapons I have now, but I'll take that light increase from the armor. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Destiny 2 is also now available through the Epic Game Store. You can go and download it now. One thing I do think is really cool, and anyone who downloads it through the Epic Game Store between August 23rd and August 30th will get the 30th anniversary pack for free.
So if you're listening to this on the day this episode goes live, the 29th, you got a day to do this. If
Yeah.
not, and you're listening to it after the 30th, I'm sorry you missed out.
Yeah, like I think that's a really good way to welcome in new players, because one, you're getting the Galahorn, which is the the staple Destiny exotic, I would say.
Yeah.
But two, you're also going to be like getting armor shaders. There's also like a really fun activity to do in the form of what's it? It's
Dares.
something Dares of Eternity. That's it. So I think that's a really good content pack to give them. And in that same time period, all of the expansions are free. You can play
on all platforms,
on
not
all
just
platforms. Yeah, you can play all of them on any platform you're on between August 23rd and August 30th. So if you have not played Shadowkeep, for example, which I haven't, then I'm going to be playing Shadowkeep.
I hope everybody did that.
Yeah.
As of the episode going live, you have 1 day left to take advantage. Hope you did.
Yeah, I was thinking that when they announced it, I was like, well, if somebody is jumping into Destiny for the first time, it is really cool that you're giving them this time to try out all the expansions, but they're not going to finish any of them. Well, you might finish Shadowkeep, or you might finish one or
Shadowkeep
two.
and Beyond Light. I think you
Yeah.
can finish both of them if you focused only on the story. You could finish Beyond Light and Shadowkeep for sure, because they're both. Shadowkeep is pretty short, and Beyond Light, it's not too long. So I think like a week is enough time to get through the two of them.
Yeah.
All three of them, you'd have to just have nothing but free time.
Yeah. What again? It's cool that they're offering that though. It gives people a chance to dip their toes in.
Yes.
And I think the final thing that we have to talk about that they showed off for the Destiny showcase is they're getting a crossover with Fortnite and Fall Guys.
Yeah, I think they're both already live right now.
Yeah.
They're cool. They're neat. They look cool.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say about them.
Yeah, I can't remember who all I predicted that or said that I would want from a Destiny crossover with Fortnite. I know I said Eris, who isn't there, which makes me a little sad, but
yeah.
You got Zavala, you got Ikora.
You got the Exo Stranger.
Yeah.
For Fortnite, for Fall Guys, I forgot what it is. But still, cool nonetheless. Neat little thing they got going on. And actually the Fortnite one's a bit more involved, because if I'm right, you're able to play Control on one of the Destiny maps in Fortnite. So actually that's very cool.
That is actually very interesting. I didn't know that, but that I actually might have to jump into.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a specific mode or how long it's going on for.
Yeah.
But no, that was the thing going on. Where like you're able to play Control on one of the Destiny 2 maps in Fortnite. So
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, seems like their partnership with Epic is getting a little bit closer.
A little bit, a little bit.
Yeah. But that was the recap of the Destiny 2 showcase. Overall, I was very happy as an understatement. I was honestly a little bit blown away by Lightfall, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I watched it and I'm like, I need that in my veins right now, please.
Yeah, yeah, it was awesome. Lightfall seems really cool. This current season seems nice.
Yeah.
All the quality of life features that they're bringing to the game next year and with the Lightfall are very welcome, long awaited in some cases.
Yep.
It's seeming like Destiny 2. It's going. It's really going. Ever since
Mhm.
Beyond Light, Destiny 2 has just been on this up and up and up and up, and it seems like it's just gonna keep getting higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
Like it seems like they are primed to have just like some of their best content coming in the next like year or two.
Yeah. Well, I think they said during the showcase that the previous year since Witch Queen, or the previous time since Witch Queen's come out, has been their best year ever.
Yes.
Yeah. But we will see Beyond Light 28th of February. So right, no, we will see Lightfall.
I was about to
28th
say
of February
not Beyond
next year.
Light, wrong one. We saw that 2 years ago.
Yep. We will see the next expansion for Destiny 2, 28th of February next year. Pre-orders are live now. I'm really excited.
Very, very excited.
Now we are going to move on to the second big event that we had this week, which is Gamescom Opening Night Live. Obviously, hosted by Geoff Keighley. As always, Summer Games Fest, Gamescom, Game Awards. He does a lot for the industry.
He does. He does. I wonder, what did you think? Like going into this, what were your expectations high, low, mid tier? And it's like, what did you think of it overall?
Okay, so my expectations going into it, I'm not gonna lie, after Summer Games Fest, I was like, like my expectations are pretty low. Like I'm not expecting a whole lot from this. I'm not thinking that it's gonna be some like, huge showcase that has like colossal announcement. Like I'm not expecting that. But once I finished, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I went into it thinking it's gonna be Summer Games Fest Part 2,
Yeah.
essentially. Don't expect the world, don't expect anything too crazy or anything. Just expect to see a large variety of games.
Yeah.
Some will be cool, some will be weird, some will be like, what is this? Some will be like, whatever. But overall, it'll be a fine show. It'll be a good show. And it was. I thought it was a good show, start to
Yeah.
finish. Did it blow my socks off? Was it disappointing? At least I don't think personally that it was disappointing. I thought it was fine.
Yeah. I would agree with that. And I think good or fine is a fairly accurate word to kind of sum up not Summer Games Fest, Opening Night Live at Gamescom.
Right.
But let's get into some of the stuff they showed off at Gamescom. We're going to start with a game called Everywhere, which when they showed off the trailer / gameplay for this, and I was actually very interested in it. Like it looks like a really cool game.
Yeah.
They kind of the conversation Geoff had with one of the developers afterwards, they kind of marketed it as like a game that like players are going to build alongside the devs, and it's going to be a game for everyone.
Right.
Judging by the trailer, it's got a bit of a weird twist at the end, which
Maybe I don't know that weird like switch to seemingly like more realistic people looking thing. I was just like, okay, I don't know what this has to do with everything we just saw before this. It's very odd. Like you said, when they would talk to the developer and everything, it seems like they're trying to build a game that is a metaverse and with like its concept and all, and they're trying to have it out next year. They're saying so. This is an announcement where it's like you are telling me an idea, but I don't know what this idea is.
Yeah.
I need more to go off of.
Yeah, it's been highlighted, noted by a few people in the industry and a few fans afterwards that this might be a blockchain game. This might be an NFT game.
I've seen people say that, but if I'm correct, it's not. They're just hiring people that have experience with that stuff.
Maybe.
So I believe the devs have said it's not an NFT game, but there's like some of the people they're hiring have experience with that stuff. Either way, like this game is a nothing burger until we actually have an idea of what the game actually is. Because right now, it's this game is just an idea of this is a thing where we want you to build your world and you all can make this what you want
Yep.
it to be and, do the things you want to do in it. It's like, but what is it that we do and how do we do that? It very much seems like marketing metaverse buzzwords, which is why I said it seems like you're
Yeah.
trying to build a metaverse in a game here.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sounded kind of sounded to me when they were describing it like, oh, you're trying to build the Oasis because they were like, oh,
Yep.
come and hang out with your friends. Come and like we're gonna use it as a platform, not just for gaming, but where you can watch stuff and listen to stuff and have events with your friends. And I'm like, this just sounds like you're trying to build the Oasis.
Yep. Again, trying to make a metaverse. Trying to make a
Yep.
metaverse here.
Well, we'll find out next year if they stick to that release window.
Everywhere is trying to do everything all at once, but I don't think everything everywhere will do everything all at once.
We then got a trailer for something that I wasn't expecting to see. I don't know if we've seen this before because I'm sure we've seen a June game before, but not June. I don't know if it was June Awakening.
It was not. It was a strategy type game. This is just an open world survival MMO, which is a CG trailer. I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
okay, cool. Moving on.
yeah. I don't have any interest in the June franchise. I don't think I haven't seen anything from it, read anything from it. I want to watch the movie when it comes out on streaming. So maybe I'll
Also,
have a
you
little
don't
bit
have
more.
HBO Max. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, we don't get that in the UK, unfortunately. But when it comes to like a UK streaming service, once I've seen it, I might have a little bit more interest in this.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. Something else we've got to look at that I am very interested in is the DualSense Edge controller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
sorry.
yeah, just essentially the PlayStation Elite, the DualSense
Yeah,
Elite, essentially.
essentially. Yeah. PlayStation's answer to the Elite controller looks like it's going to have, customizable not well, yeah, customizable triggers like with the hair trigger locks like on the Elite. You can change it to thumbsticks. It looks cool. I'm just wondering what the price tag's going to be.
I mean, I imagine it'll be expensive. Probably something along the same line as the Elite controller.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not gonna get it just because I have no interest in like these high performance super controllers. Like I imagine these are better for like people who are either in esports or like super duper hardcore
Yeah,
crazy. Like I want to be able to just keep my thumbs on the thumbsticks at all times and not have to change things. And like I don't care enough to spend like $200 on a controller when I could
fair.
buy a number of other things for that same price.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool that it's happening. I know a lot of people have wanted this for a very long time. So by all means, happy for them.
Yeah, no, I might get it. I probably won't because I already have an Elite controller for Xbox, and that's probably where I'm going to be playing the likes of like
Yeah.
Overwatch. So probably not going to get the Edge, but I mean, regardless, like you say, people have wanted it for a while, so I'm glad it's here. Something else that people have been craving for a while is more Callisto Protocol gameplay, which we got. They kind of went into it. They had a interview with
Glenn Schofield.
Glenn Schofield.
You were
I was like,
way off.
yeah, I was like Tim Sawyer.
Wow, very
Yeah.
wrong.
Yep. Glenn Schofield was on stage talking to Geoff again. We got a little bit of look at we got a little look at Callisto Protocol during Summer Games Fest. We got a little look at it during Opening Night Live as well. They kind of showed off enemies have mutations, which they were kind of talked about, which is essentially like enemies will sprout tentacles, and if you don't shoot the tentacles fast enough, then they kind of mutate and become harder to kill. It kind of reminds me of the I am the worst Borderlands fan ever. What's their name in Borderlands 2 with the bucket on their head?
I know who you're talking
Goliaths.
about, but there you go.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Goliaths, where like if you don't do something soon, they'll become a lot harder to play. But the gameplay that we saw just as gruesome as ever. I really like the fact that they were like picking up people and throwing them into this like spinning like like thing of grinders, and then the blood,
whatever.
the blood would like pour out with like the vents in the top of it. Like this game looks really cool, and the more I see of it, the more I'm like, I kind of want to play this. I know that like this isn't typically my kind of game, but like the more I see of it, the more this just looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought it looked cool. I hope we do not see more of this game until it comes out.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. I think we've seen enough. Start your marketing like PR stuff for release. Don't like give us other like kind of like looks into the game.
Yeah, because I feel like now because I think Summer Games Fest was the first time we saw gameplay for it, if I'm correct. Summer
Yes,
Games Fest slash like the PlayStation State of Play that was just before it.
kind of. Yeah,
That was the first time we saw gameplay. If you unless you want to count what we saw in the reveal at Game Awards the year prior. Regardless, first actual raw gameplay, Summer Games Fest. Now we're seeing some more about 2 months later. We kind of, because of what this game is, unless we see something drastically new or different next time, we run the risk of seeing similar gameplay at like multiple different shows. We don't need to. Like the next big showcase event will be Game Awards, which will be like what, around the exact same time Callisto Protocol comes out, days before, if not days after. So if it appears at another showcase, it would be like a PlayStation 1 maybe, or an Xbox One if Xbox has one. They will not, because Xbox doesn't do that. So I hope we do not see more, because I don't want this game to feel like, all right, we've seen enough, moving on. Like we know what the game is. We don't want to see, you don't want the shock and gore and awe of Callisto Protocol to run its course before the game even comes out.
Yep, 100% agree. Don't do a death loop.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, one of like the big surprises that got me at this show, not in terms of like blowing my mind, just like, oh wow, they're making another one. I didn't think that the original did very well. They are making the Lords of the Fallen, which seems like either a reboot or a sequel or a spin-off to Lords of the Fallen, which came out, I think, in 2014. Let me Google that.
I think it's a sequel. Because they said, yeah, no two, just the Lords of the Fallen. But yeah, when this was on, I was like, I remember the name of the first game. I don't remember anything about it though. So okay, we're getting another one. Interesting.
Yeah, I also think it's interesting we're getting another one 8 years. Well, another one was announced 8 years after the original came out. But I think I played like a tiny bit of this at a friend's house. I didn't like super love it, but this trailer got me very interested. I think the trailer was actually really well done.
It was a cool trailer. Interesting, intriguing, ominous and dark. I just got to know more about the game to actually have an idea on what it is. Because I think what Lords of the Fallen was what, like a Souls like type of game, right? Yes, no.
If I'm remembering correctly, yes.
Yeah, so like I figured this will be along the same lines. I just gotta know more about it.
Yeah, another game I'm not sure if I want to know more about this game. Like, it looked cute, sure, but moving out to, I don't really have anyone to play it with, so probably not going to get it. But it's coming next year to all platforms.
Yeah, first one seems really cool and awesome. I just never got around to playing the first one, but it's awesome that a second one's coming. That's neat.
Then we got a new trailer for Hogwarts Legacy, which, I mean, I'm definitely not going to say no to. We got a focus on, dark magic, few like Slytherin vibes in there.
Yeah. I like you said, I'm not going to say no to another trailer, although the trailer didn't do too much for me. In terms of, well, what I mean, when I say that, I mean like it didn't do much in terms of like making me go, oh man, that looks super cool. Like I was also, again, I was watching this at work, so I was like kind of half watching. I need to rewatch it. I have not had time to rewatch it, but watching, I was just like, okay, so stuff with this Slytherin kid, his family's got some stuff going on, I guess, and showing us we're in like a tomb of some sort or whatnot, and we can use the forbidden spells in the game. Okay, interesting. Outside of that, it didn't do too much for me. Like I guess the way the last trailer we saw for the game was like, oh wow, we're seeing all these cool things, and like really kind of like got me more excited. This didn't get me more or less excited. I was just like, okay, fine.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like it wasn't mind blowing, but I was watching and I'm like, this is just like, this is reinvigorating my hype for Hogwarts Legacy and then adding to it a little bit. This did a little for me. It didn't do a huge amount though.
Yeah. Still looking forward to that game though. Looking forward to playing.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I am there day one. Now, something else that I'm there for day one, October 21st, all platforms, because this looks awesome. New Tales from the Borderlands. It was leaked beforehand, the release date and the name. but after seeing it, I'm like, this just looks like more Borderlands, and I am 100% here for it.
I am very much in on it too. I gotta watch that trailer again, but I'm in on it. I'm ready. I'm excited. I wonder if it's gonna be all episodes available at once. If it's episodic.
Yeah,
I don't think they said that. I don't know if
they
they
didn't.
confirmed
No.
if it's an episodic story or anything like that. But regardless, I'm very much into it. I am annoyed. It comes out the 21st. It just hit me. Modern Warfare 2's early access for the campaign starts the day before that. So
Oof.
because I'm planning to review that game, I'm not going to be on Tales of the Borderlands at day one. I'll probably be there a couple days later, if I'm there like in that first week. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see what the schedule is looking like.
Yeah, but I mean, the new Tales from the Borderlands is going to have an all new characters, all new story, and apparently TDR is invading a city, and your job is to stop them, or your job is to essentially try and like retake the vault key that TDR is looking for.
Something along those lines. TDR is
Yeah.
going to be the main antagonist, it seems like, though, for this game. So
Yeah. One
neat.
thing that I'm gonna have to go back and watch the trailer again. I'm fairly certain I saw Reese.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he might have appeared like again half watching. I thought I saw a quick
Yeah.
glimpse of him, but I was not sure, and I need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that there's a scene where like somebody's like smashing through a window or something, and I'm fairly sure you see Reese in the background screaming because they're coming through his window.
That is where I thought I saw him, but it went
Yeah.
by so fast that I was not sure.
Yeah, like I said, I'll have to watch the trailer again. I'm fairly certain.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah. We got a new look at a new DLC look at Dying Light 2 called Bloody Ties, which essentially seems to be you fight in an arena to kill people and then zombies. It's coming October 13th.
Gladiator combat.
Yeah. Cool, I guess. It doesn't interest me a whole lot. But
Yeah, it's not gonna make me get the game, but I still want to play.
Yeah,
Dying
exactly.
Light 2.
Something that actually did catch my interest quite a bit was the new trailer for Sonic Frontiers. This game looks
Yes.
markedly better than it did last time we saw it.
Yes. And I mean, to be fair, the last time we saw it, like it was said that it was like an earlier build
Yeah.
of the game. To be fair, nonetheless, though, the game does look better than when last time we did see it. I was watching this, I was like, okay, visually this looks better, and it also looks more fun. I think it's still a game where I have to get my hands on it to actually understand, to actually get a better feel for like whether or not I would enjoy it. But it still looks cool.
Yeah. Like I was watching the trailer and I was like, okay, this looks better. And then it kept going. I'm like, this looks better. Actually, this looks a lot better. Then
Yeah.
it got towards the end and I'm like, I actually might get this game. This looks like a lot of fun. And the release date popped up and I was like, ooh, not day one though.
Yeah, that that's a tough one. I saw someone on
Yeah.
Twitter. They posted a clip from Family Guy. I don't remember if you saw this episode. It's an earlier episode of the series. After Y2K, essentially, where like Y2K happened, the missiles went off and everything. It's like a nuclear apocalypse. And Joe, he is stuck in like the ground. So like from the waist up, he's above the ground. His waist down is under the ground and stuff. And like the Griffins, they were like said bye him and they went away somewhere. And then this giant rat comes. So in the trailer, they have Sonic Frontiers as Joe and God of War as the giant rat. And then Joe is just like, bring it on. It's like,
yeah,
like good luck. You and Skull and Bones are poking the bears. The poking the bees nest right there. Like, good luck coming out the day before God of War. Have fun.
Yeah. Like I'm like I hope it works out well for them, but I can't see it working out well for them.
That's a dangerous day to go for.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. But I mean, again, you either come before God of War or right after, and right before Pokemon, or right after November is like kind of a no man's land right now.
Yeah.
It's dangerous territory. So good luck. Sonic has the power of being Sonic and a strong fan base. So fans will rally around him one way or another.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go God of War, Sonic, Skull and Bones.
Oh, for those 3 games right there. Yeah, in that 2-day window, yes.
Yeah.
For the month of November as a whole, it would be God of War, Pokemon.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I actually really like the look of this next game, which is titled Under the Waves. It's essentially like a narrative focused exploration game that you're just under the water and you're driving about, sailing about.
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
It seems interesting. Um, I think I'd have to watch that thing again to remember exactly how I felt about it. But watching it, I was just like, okay, it seems like it could be neat. I'd have to again just know a bit more about the story and all, like just how it's like what exactly is the story here? What exactly is the game?
yeah,
Um, but it seems very chill. It seems very chill, very zen, very relaxing.
yeah. No, it definitely does. But one, you mentioned having to see more of the gameplay, and then you from there you can figure out what this game is. We got quite a bit of look at gameplay for Goat Simulator 3, and I am left with the question: what is this game?
It looks like it is more Goat Simulator,
Yep.
and you know what? I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
So am
I don't know
I.
if I'm gonna be getting it day one, but it looks just like a stupid old time.
Yeah.
Like Goat Simulator itself is stupid,
Mm-hmm.
and this just looks like it cranks the stupid up to a whole nother level, and not in a bad way. It's
Oh
never
no,
in a bad way.
exactly.
Like
Like,
we're out here in yoga class, I think, or meditation class as the
yeah,
goat. It's like, do you?
yeah. Like this game looks a lot bigger than the first one, and I'm 100% here
Yes.
for it because I really enjoyed the first one. I'm gonna really enjoy the second one. Again, maybe not day one, but because November 17th, not that long after God of War, not well, actually very soon before Pokemon. So
It's the
maybe
day
not
before
day one.
Pokemon.
Yeah. So maybe not day one. We'll absolutely be playing this at some point.
Yeah. It was like they got a budget. They were given a good
Oh
budget for
yeah.
this game.
Yeah. Oh, it looks fun. It looks so much fun.
Yes.
We also got a new trailer for Return to Monkey Island, which comes out September 19th of this year.
Yeah.
I were
They
you gonna
just
say?
gave us the release date essentially. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, here's the game, and here is the release date, September 19th.
yeah. But honestly, my favorite thing about this trailer is they announced that if you pre-order the game, you get a set of horse armor for
That does
in
nothing
game,
for you.
which does absolutely nothing. It sits in your inventory. You can't like redeem it. You can't use it. You can't sell it. Well, you might be able to sell it. I don't know, but does nothing. I find that hilarious.
It was funny. The funny little thing that they did.
Now we get on to the game that probably blew me away the most from this showcase, surprisingly.
I knew it would once I saw that it was miniatures. I was like, oh yeah, he got this.
Yeah. So the developers of Subnautica, which are Unknown Worlds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I blank on the name of that developer all the time, and I hate myself for it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, brand new sci-fi turn-based tactics IP from Unknown Worlds, creators of Subnautica. They mentioned how they like to reinvent themselves after each game that they do, and
Mm-hmm.
I think they've done a good job because this looks about as far away as Subnautica as you can get.
What is this that looks so far away from Subnautica?
It is like I say, turn-based tactics IP. It's miniatures, so you can create. I think they said you have a team of like a captain and then 10
But what
rookies
is
or
the name of
pawns.
the game?
Oh,
We
Moon!
haven't
I
said it
said
yet.
Moonbreaker.
I didn't hear you. If you did,
Yeah.
it flew right over my head.
I'm sure I said Moonbreaker.
I don't believe you did. But anyway, Moonbreaker is this
Anyway,
game.
yeah, Moonbreaker has an over-the-top, colorful art style that is it looks so good. It looks like it plays so well. I am very certain that I heard voice actors from Overwatch and Apex in there. I don't know what character it is, but I'm fairly certain there's a voice actor who voices Soldier 76 and Caustic in Apex, who voices one of the characters in here, and I think Darren DePaul as well. But like
Mhm.
it looks so much fun, and like the detail that they went into with like the miniature painting feature, where like any like miniature that you have on your team, you can go in down to so like just the minute detail with like airbrushes or like dry brushing or like any number of like actual miniature painting methods
Yeah.
with a huge color palette and like a really in-depth creator. It looks really, really cool, and I am honestly very excited for this game.
Yeah, I at first when I was watching it, I was like, not for me. I knew it wasn't gonna be for me at all. And I'm watching, I was like, Karen might not be that into this, because the genre. But once I saw there was miniatures and you could paint them, I was like, and that will get him into this game. That right there will be the thing that tips him over the edge. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
for me still, but I was like, that's cool. That's an awesome little like unique thing right there.
Yeah, like okay, so honestly, like I'm really not a fan of like turn-based games. Like that's not the play style that I usually go for. I was kind of sold on this game before the miniature painting stuff even came out. I was
Oh
like,
wow.
this game looks cool. It sounds like it plays well. It looks exactly like a game I would be into, minus the
Hmm.
turn-based stuff. Like there are some games that I can kind of forgive the turn-based stuff on, like Pillars of Eternity is one of them. So like this is something that I am honestly very convinced I'll get day one.
Yeah, it seemed cool. It seemed really fun. So I hope anyone who plays it does enjoy it.
Yeah. I'll run through this next one quickly. Friends v Friends looked like a fun time. Maybe I don't really have too much to say on it. It's essentially you're an animal, you fight with guns. It has a card based mechanic. The art style did look cool. I'll give it that. I really like the art style of this game.
I liked the cinematic animated trailer way more than what we saw of like the
Same.
brief snippet of gameplay. As because the gameplay we saw was so brief that I couldn't get a feel for it. But
Yeah.
like the animated trailer that came before it just gave me such heavy Studio
Yeah.
Trigger vibes where I was just like, oh my god, this just looks so cool and so funny and awesome and just like seems like a great time. And then we got to the actual brief bit of gameplay. I was like, you're here, but you're not here, and I need to see more of you to
Yeah.
know what I'm gonna think of you. Um, but I mean, it could be cool. It could be cool. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Nothing. I would like to see more of it, but I'm not 100% sold on it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So next game we got to look at was a new Souls-like game. I can't remember the developer, but Lies of P. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the developer either, but we've known about this game for a while.
Yeah.
It's weird actually. This game and there's another one that has a very similar vibe and aesthetic to it. That its name starts with an S, except like your character that I think is like more mechanical in some shape or form.
Okay.
I forgot, but both of them are so it seems very similar. So it's like literally the vibe and the aesthetic and the location that they're in, they seem very similar. But Lies of P seems very, very cool. It seems like it's going to be a great Game Pass day one game, like great get for
Yeah.
that service.
Yeah, it's coming next year. This is one that like when they said Souls like I was like okay, like that takes me out of it a little bit because that's not like my favorite genre, but I on it if it's Game Pass day one, it does interest me a bit, so I'm probably gonna play this maybe on day one,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit after, depending on time frame, other games, stuff like that. But it looks pretty cool, I would have to say.
I'm into playing as Pinocchio in a Soulsborne type of
Yeah.
world. That is awesome. And also like I liked Bloodborne when I started playing of it recently, which I do plan to get back to, just have it because of time. But this definitely gives me a whole lot of Bloodborne vibes in terms of how like fast paced the combat seems like it'll be and all.
Yeah.
So I'm into it. I'm very much into it. And it is Game Pass day one. So that is all the incentive I need to play it right there.
Yeah. Next up, we have Stranded Alien Dawn. Like, I'll probably go through this one quickly. Again, I don't have a whole lot to say to it about it, but it's essentially a survival game set on a new planet after, your ship is damaged, you crash land. It's coming to early access in October. I can't remember what platforms they said, but I mean, maybe I'll play it, maybe I won't. I don't know.
I'm not going to, and I'll tell you this much. This trailer started, I'm like, oh, okay, this is like could be something cool. Then it was turned to like the survival stuff. I was like, and no. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this trailer reminded me so much of like mobile games or like free-to-play games where like it started off like really intense, and then like we get like after they crash land, the guy comes out, he's like, oh, here we go. Here we go with my staff. That's a spear as well. And then you see the gameplay, and it was just like, I don't want to say like really simple or basic, but just like you're like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's another one of these. All righty. Next.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of next, I might have lied before when I said that Moonbreaker was my most like hyped game of this. I think it's joint first. because Atlas Fallen looks insane. It looks
It seems cool.
like like I mean, as much as like we didn't get a huge look at gameplay, we got some. Just the premise of this game, the glimpses we got of it, and what the CG trailer did for me, 100% there, day one, without question.
Right. And like some of the gameplay that we saw as well, again, not too much gameplay. I'm not
No.
really a fan of CG of trailers that do this for games where like we're announcing a game with a CG trailer and there's like a bit of gameplay, but it's like 15 seconds at most at the very end. It's just like, what does that do for me? I want more of that as opposed to like the 90. I would have preferred this be an entirely CG trailer as opposed to 95% CG and 5% gameplay. Like pick one. Don't, or if you're gonna do both, 50-50, not 95-5. That doesn't work. That said, I did think this looked cool though. I did think it looked cool. Again, it's got to see gameplay. Got to see more of that gameplay to really, see what I'm going to feel on it. See if I'm going to like it or not.
Yeah, I think this was the game they described as like the gods got too, what's the word I'm looking for? They got too like greedy or something, and then stepped back, and now the people in the world, or at least the two kind of I assume protagonists that they showed, have a bone to pick with the gods and are trying to get back at them somehow. But like with like coupled with the powers and just like the design of some of the enemies and like the premise I can tell of it so far, I'm very excited for this.
It does seem cool. It seems like it'll be a cool game. Show me more gameplay though.
Yeah, fair. I'll rattle off these next few real quick because I don't think both either of us will have too much to say on them.
We won't.
Yeah. So Homeworld 3 got a new trailer for that. It's releasing in the first half of 2023. Space, the long-loved space RTS from Gearbox. Cool trailer. Didn't do anything for me. Not gonna get this.
I was just like, okay, this is where I watch and look at my computer and do my work.
Yeah.
I won't have to look at my computer and my phone while doing it. I can focus on this.
Yep, we got a new look at we got a first look at version 3.0 for Genshin Impact, introducing a new rainforest biome. I think Geoff said
something. I don't remember exactly. I don't play Genshin, so this is a point where I was half watching because I know Genshin's important, but I was also more so doing my work at the same time too. I was like, okay, seems cool. Genshin still good looking game, beautiful, gorgeous.
Oh it is. Yeah. Didn't do anything for me. Not going to start playing Genshin, but cool trailer. With another trailer we got from Hoyoverse was Honkai Star Rail. We got a new kind of story trailer for that. This game intrigues me a little bit, not to the point where I have a lot to say about it, but it looked cool. It was an interesting trailer.
Yeah, it seems fine. She's like, just cool vibes going on here. Maybe I'll get into it.
Something that did excite me though. Again, I don't have terribly much to say on it, but we got a new trailer for High on Life. A new little gameplay demo of a boss fight. I see you nod in your head.
I don't know. It's weird. This actually turned me off the game some.
Really?
It did. Because of the dialogue.
Okay.
So like
I can get that, yeah.
I get that this game's whole thing is the weapons are talking to you and the crass, edgy kind of humor that Justin Roiland is kind of known for and everything like that, and like his dialogue and how he writes his dialogue and stuff. I get all that. The only line in this that made me laugh was when you were shooting the boss and the gun was just like, come on, admit it, that hurt you. And the boss was like, no, F you. I was like, okay, that got a good laugh out of me. But other than that, I was just like, I was like smirking some, but not like actually laughing. And then it went downhill the second that knife came out. That knife came out and he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna stab him, and I was just like, shut up. Like you're just cursing the curse right now, and it's not. I get like this humor is supposed to be, oh, he's so edgy and crass, and that's what makes it so funny. But it's like, no, you're doing the exact opposite for me right now. Actually, where I actually want you to shut up. And it wasn't even just that; it was also like the thing that people kind of rag on other games for. This was doing to like the nth degree, where it's just like, oh man, she's doing this. Hook up to everything up in the air and swing around in the air. Use me to do that. Hey, I'm really helpful, right? It's just like, I know what I need to do. Like, this is not complicated. Like, shut up. Stop telling me what to do. I know what I need to do. And I get that that is kind of what this game is going for in a tongue-in-cheek way, in addition to just avoid its humor. It just was it just was not working for me with this. It was not.
Fair.
And I was just like, oh, I was interested before. I'm much more disinterested now than I was before.
Yeah. Like I can like that kind of humor is kind of my kind of humor. I really enjoyed this. I can 100% understand why the knife was a bit much.
Like I censored myself in what it said, but like it was egregious. Just like how much he's just like dropping bombs and just like what he's saying. It's like, I get that this is what the knife weapon is like. I get it, but it's too much. It's trying to be too edgy for no reason.
Yeah, I as much as that's my kind of humor, I would actually somewhat agree with you on the knife thing. I was like, maybe chill just a little bit.
Yeah. And like I think I'll still play the game. I mean, like it's gonna be a Game Pass game. There's no reason for me not to.
Yeah.
But I think that extended look of gameplay did not do the game much favors in my eyes.
Yeah.
And I've kind of seen similar sentiment from other people online where they were like, yeah, this didn't do much for me. Actually, this kind of turned me off the game a bit more. Like, so we'll see. We'll have to wait and see like what the actual game is like in terms of its writing and dialogue and stuff. But that raised flags for me.
Fair. Yeah. We also got a new look at The Expanse, which is a new game from Telltale. And like you essentially play as like a space pirate salvager kind of character.
I don't know, but I mean it's a Telltale game based on the Expanse series.
Yeah. So I mean, like I haven't watched or read The Expanse. I don't know if it's a TV show or a movie. Or
it's a
book.
TV show. I think it's based off a book.
Okay.
Don't quote me though.
Yeah. I haven't looked into The Expanse at all. I did like what we saw though. This might be something I pick up. Probably not day one, probably at some point down the line, but this definitely intrigued me a bit.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna pick this up just because I'm not into The Expanse and I don't want to jump into this and then have all that baggage. Like, oh, I wonder, what the associations are. But I mean, hey, it seems like it'll be cool. So more power to it and the fans.
Yep. Something that I don't think anyone was expecting, though, was a Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game reveal.
Not at all. Not at all. Far from it.
Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong. This actually intrigued me a little bit. I'm maybe slightly invested in this game. It's coming early next year. From the devs behind Friday the 13th. But one, I'm gonna have to see more gameplay or just know more about this series because I've heard of this. I've never seen it, but this did something for me at least.
I saw it. I was like, I'm not gonna play it, but it's cool that this franchise, this IP, is coming back in this form. Like, it just makes sense to have a game like this for that series. So awesome, cool stuff.
Again, I'll probably move through the next few a little bit quickly, but stop me if you want to talk about anything.
You can actually just bam, 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 because I don't remember anything about these three. So
that's exactly why I was going to move through them.
Go ahead. Not going to stop you.
Scars Above is a third-person shooter set in space. I don't remember what that trailer was. Word Song is a game from industry vets who are making a brand new RPG. Something Wicked Games. I quite like that. That studio name.
And I didn't write down, but some of the industry vets, they worked on games like bunch of Elder Scrolls games. I believe some Fallouts. I think some people on Witcher 3. Like, they're industry vets that have worked on highly acclaimed RPGs.
Yeah,
making a brand new RPG.
Yeah, I think Outer Worlds was on there as well. So that
yeah.
I mean, like, I'll watch more of it if I could remember what that trailer was. So
I don't think trailer didn't give us any gameplay. It was just more of a cinematic tease of like, this is what the world kind of is, and this is the game, and see you soon.
Yep. And then we got a little look at Age of Empires 4 new free DLC coming on October 25th. The Malians and the Ottomans are coming in the game. Cool. Awesome. Next.
Nice.
Then we got to look at Gotham Knights. We got to look at who the like main villains you're going to be fighting in the game are. So you're going to be fighting Harley Quinn, the Court of Owls, Clayface, and Mr. Freeze. I mistook Clayface for Swamp Thing because I'm an idiot. But
For who?
Swamp Thing.
Wow, they are very different.
Yeah. It's releasing October 21st. We've known that for a while. The more like
we didn't know that. It was October 25th.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, they moved it
They
forward.
bumped it up 4 days.
Yeah. Sorry. My bad. I completely forgot that they were like, oh yeah, it's coming out earlier.
Yeah. And I think there might have been other villains in the trailer, but those just like the 4 that I wrote down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Whenever I see Gotham Knights, some trailers get me more interested and others do less for me. And this one got me more interested in the game. I have a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah. I don't know if this trailer did anything for me, but at this point, I think we have seen enough of this game at like events that you can just go ahead and release it.
Yeah, you know by now if you're in or not.
Yeah. Something that I actually might be in on that I actually really like the look of was Where Winds Meet.
Yes.
We got a CG / gameplay trailer. It looks like I don't know if I'm correct on this. It looks like a Japanese style Souls-like game.
Well, it's in China. It's in Chinese period. Okay. It's in China, yeah. I was getting somewhat kind of Ghost of Tsushima vibes from it.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And I think IGN had like a gameplay demo of sorts, which I did not get to watch. But it looks this game caught my eye. I was very into this game, very intrigued by it. I definitely want to learn more about this game. It seems very cool, very visually appealing. It's got my eye. I think it's one to keep your eye on.
Yep, my eye is going to be kept on it. This got me quite excited for this, but obviously I want to see more.
Right.
Then we got Kojima. Kojima popped up. Yeah, Geoff said that Kojima helped close out the show last year. So the
last year, not 2019.
The one that the first Opening Night Live wanted to come back. Apparently, Kojima has a podcast that is launching on September 8th.
In Japanese and English.
Yeah.
I just love, he said, hey guys, I'm here. Announcing my podcast. See you later. Bye. Geoff is just like, hey, Kojima, you got anything you want to announce? Actually, Geoff, you know what? Now that you mentioned it, can I appear at the Game Awards this year? Because I want to announce the Kojima cooking show.
I would watch the hell out of that.
Like I just look forward now to random Kojima appearances, the Geoff Keighley showcases for just unexpected announcements. All right, we did the cooking show. Now it's gonna be the Kojima car show called Ride with Kojima, starring Norman Reedus as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kojima did say that like Geoff is going to be popping up regularly on the podcast with like an entertainment industry section, and like I don't know what this podcast is going to be. I forget the name of it. It's something like Mind something.
I don't
like
remember
that.
if he said the name. I didn't catch it, but Kojima was having a podcast. He came here to announce a podcast, and that's all he said.
Yeah. Weird announcement. I might listen to it. Just give it a go, see what it's like.
I forgot that there was the part in his announcement. He was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a GIF. That's gonna be a GIF for me.
Yeah.
I know it will. Like it happened. I was like, there you
go. Yep. Park Beyond. We saw this before. I think it's Summer Games Fest or Game Awards, or we've seen it somewhere. But a new gameplay trailer coming next year. Theme park builder.
Cool. Yep. Cool thing.
Then, honestly, one of the weirdest things I think I've seen in quite a while, and something that like is cool, don't get me wrong, but like I don't know if it needed to take up a section during the show.
Yeah, the mini concept car crossover with Pokemon.
I mean, like it's cool, don't get me wrong. Like I would like to see one in person. Like it's kind of heavily inspired by Pikachu because it's an electric car. You can plug your Switch into it and play on the go. Like it is interesting, but at the same time, why?
This right after the Kojima thing was utterly
Yeah.
hilarious. And I couldn't get over how the guy was like, I forgot what the question Geoff asked him, but the guy was like, yeah, like, like the mini is such a character. And Pokemon
I
has
know, right?
so many characters.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no,
No,
no.
do you want to know what annoys me? There was a point where Geoff was like, I'll ask you your favorite Pokemon in a second. Then he never asked him his favorite Pokemon.
I didn't catch things. I tuned out. I was just like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah, like
It's talking about a mini concept card. Said Pokemon has many characters, and the mini is a character. Just like, no.
Like
No.
I could understand if it was like
No.
a mini cross Pokemon racing game, but like like Forza has cars
That
on
would be
stage all the
weirder.
time.
That would be weirder than
Like
this.
no, like no, I'm not saying it wouldn't be weird. I'm saying I can understand why there would be a car.
This is just none of this makes
It's just so weird. Why? Why
It
does
was
need
so
to be?
weird. It was bizarre.
Anyway, moving on. Dark Romantic is a game. I forgot what the trailer is, to be perfectly honest with you.
I'm pretty sure I think it's the island type
Oh yeah,
thingy with Switch
Yeah.
Switch game, September 29th.
looks cool. I'm not going to play it. Outlast Trials is getting a closed beta from October 28th to November 1st. Again, looks cool. They showed off some few different bosses, different enemies, different environments, or a different environment within the same building, I guess. But yeah, cool.
It's a thing.
Yeah. Something that I wish we got a lot more of, because this looked really interesting to me, is the finals. It's a new first-person shooter from devs who I believe worked on Battlefield. You're a competitor in a game show. We got like the briefest looks at this game before. It was like the trailer for this was like 5 seconds. And then it was
And it was like a CG trailer. That's why
Yeah.
this is like whatever. Come talk to me when you have something. This is nothing.
Yeah. And then finally, the last announcement we got from Opening Night Live at Gamescom: Dead Island 2 back at the forefront of people's minds with a new
For
CG
real
trailer.
this time. It wasn't
Yeah.
a prank. It wasn't a fake trailer for
Yeah,
you
wasn't
know.
Goat Simulator.
Yeah, wasn't that? It was actually Dead Island 2.
Yep, we got a new CG trailer and then gameplay afterwards. Sure, I'll probably have the gameplay up on screen while we're talking about it. But it's a game set in LA following Jacob, who is apparently one of the 6 playable characters in this game.
Yeah,
And
the
we got-
trailer was following Jacob. I should specify.
Yes. Yeah. The gameplay I think was just a snippet of random characters killing zombies, which I mean is what Dead Island's all about. Going through murdering zombies. They did say it has a focus on melee with a few guns, but mostly melee from what I can tell. Coming February 3rd next year.
February just continues to get bigger.
Please stop announcing your games for next year, or at least like the first half, please.
More like the first 3 months, you mean?
Well, first 3, maybe.
No, yes, the first 3 months. That's the people trying to get their stuff in before fiscal years are over and everything for financial reports.
Anyway, just stop announcing your games for like that period, please. Like there is too much stuff in the first, say, like 3 or 4 months of next year. There's too much.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But
Are you
back to Dead Island 2?
Yeah, I was about to say, are you looking forward to it?
Yes, I am. I haven't played Riptide or Dead Island 1, so like I don't really have like I don't really have like a love for the franchise. I'm definitely interested. I would like to see more. Probably gonna get it. Probably not day one.
I'm into it. I haven't had a chance to really sit down and watch gameplay demos of it or read previews of it from this week at all. But just going off the trailers that we saw, the game does look like a lot of fun.
It does.
And it reminds me, it reminds me of why I didn't play Dead Island 1 or Riptide, but reminds me of why I just liked Dying Light, the original. Of course, this didn't have the parkour, but just the pure fun and joy of going around cutting up zombies first person and all like that. It just seems like it seems like it could be a fun time. It seems like they're having just like fun with the tone and everything. Like it's a lighter tone. It's not taking itself too seriously or anything like that. So I am into it. I will try to be there day one. Once we know what January, February, March look like in terms of game releases, then I could decide if I'll be there day one. Although I probably won't on this because Forspoken is the 24th of January, which is like a week before this. So I don't think I'll be done with Forspoken and all, but in order to get to this day one. But it looks cool. I'm into it. I'm very happy that after all this time, the game actually has a release date. It is actually coming out very soon, and it actually looks good. It doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I can't remember what developer's working on it just now, but they said they've been working on it for like 4 years.
Yeah, they've been working on it for a bit, so
yeah,
it'll be out soon. It'll be here soon.
So the question I forgot to ask you about the Destiny one, I'll ask you, or I don't know if you would need to do it for the Destiny one, but Opening Night Live, if you had to rate it, give it a letter,
B.
What would you do? B?
It B.
I would agree with that. Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. Wasn't too bad, wasn't too amazing, but had a lot of good stuff in there that surprised me.
Yeah, overall, did not like I said at the top of all this, didn't blow my socks off. Didn't necessarily disappoint. I knew kind of what to expect going in. It's like it's going to be Summer Games Fest Part 2. Don't expect the world. Expect to see some cool games, and that'll be that. And that's what we got.
Yeah. So we are going to move on to our final main news story: the PS5 price increase. This was announced on Friday, I believe.
Thursday, I think.
Like they will tell me on the blog.
I think it was Thursday. I don't believe it was Friday.
It was indeed Thursday.
I am correct. I remember reading it on the way to the wedding and stuff.
Okay. PS5 is getting a price increase in all major markets except the US. Interesting. The exact markets are Europe, the UK, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, Latin America, and Canada. All of those are getting a price increase by varying amounts. I imagine. I don't know exactly, prices that they are now versus what they're going to be in each market. But
it wasn't happening in Japan as well. It's happening in Japan too.
I said Asia.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
So you see, you said them, but I completely. I saw Europe and I saw UK and Middle East. I'm like, oh, okay, you just say regions or countries. I completely skipped over Asia, which encompasses, China and Japan and everything. I'm just like, wait a second, hold on, he left out some.
No, well, essentially every major market except the US.
Yes.
But a quote from the PlayStation blog reads, quote, "The global economic environment is a challenge that many of you around the world are no doubt experiencing. We're seeing high global inflation rates, as well as adverse currency trends impacting consumers and creating pressure on many industries," end quote. So you can chalk this down to the world's getting a more expensive place to live. Things are getting more expensive to manufacture. Things have to go up in price.
Basically what they're saying. That we got to charge more, unfortunately. We don't want to, but we kind of need to, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Something that was pointed out in an IGN article I read, they didn't specify whether this is a permanent price increase or until things get better worldwide, which I would like to think that they'll take the price back down again, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't imagine this is a permanent thing. I would like this was something I had actually asked on Twitter. I had asked because I was Matt Piscatella from the MPD group had tweeted about this, and I had replied to his tweet. I was like, what do you think? Like, do you think that the price will eventually go back down to its normal price, or do you think that when they ever do a price cut, it'll be the original price cut that they were going to do from start? From like the $500 price.
Yeah.
Like, so say it was PS5 normally $500 for the disc version. A price cut would have gone down to say $400, right? So now, say like the price increase goes to $550. Okay, just stick with me here.
Yeah.
Would the price cut go back down to $500, or will we take it down to $400 or $450? Like, what are we? How long would this go on for? If they're doing this price increase.
It
was a question I wondered, but I do think that, as just like with Facebook, well, Meta, I understand the reasoning. I understand that things are getting more expensive, and that out of necessity, this is kind of needs to be done in order to, I guess, stay profitable. Although the PS5 disc edition was being sold at a profit not too long after the consoles first went on sale, I think. I think the digital version is still the one that's selling at a loss. Nonetheless, though, I do think that it's still not a good look. I get it. I
I
completely
agree.
get it. It's still not a good look for, like, as they said in their post, we're seeing, like, it's a challenge for many people around the world and stuff and all. And like, we're seeing all these different things that are impacting consumers and creating pressure. So we got to increase the price, making it more expensive for you guys to buy our thing, which is
Yep.
like already tough to buy and getting better. But, still, like, I get it. It's not a good look. The the silver lining, I think, on this is that, I mean, I don't know um currency exchange rates, something like that, but they're not making it drastic. They're not upping the price as
Yeah.
drastically as Meta did. Like, Meta just straight up upcharged a full 100. Whereas from what I'm seeing with this, it's anywhere from, I don't know, I'm gonna say dollars just for the sake of like my own simplicity,
Yeah.
but like anywhere from like $30 to $50 depending on the region that you're in.
Yeah.
So like, that's not too ridiculous from what I'm seeing, but it's still a price increase, you
Yep.
know. So it's not a good look. It's not a good look. The people in these markets aren't going to be happy about that.
No. No. I mean, I can give you an example. In the UK, the price is going to increase by £30 for both versions, making the PS5 digital $389.99, up from $359.99, and the disc version $479.99, up from $449. So like 99. It's not a terribly huge price increase, but the point that we have here, Microsoft and Nintendo have confirmed that they have no plans to adjust the price of the Series X and the Switch. I think it's a disadvantage for Sony and a huge advantage, well, maybe not huge, but a quite large advantage for like Microsoft, for example, right? So one of the main factors when you are choosing the next console to buy is going to be price, right? It is,
Yeah.
because nobody wants to spend as much money as they can. They want to get the best console for them at the lowest price. So now with the PS5, let's just go disc version, for example, being £480, I'll round up in the UK, the Series X is still 450. So if you're deciding between the Series X and a PS5 disc version, yes, £30 isn't a colossal amount of money. But if you're already working on a tight budget, or you're already looking to spend, as little money as you can, and like you're not 100% decided between the two, you now have a bigger reason to go Microsoft. Like, you have Game Pass for one, but two, you have the lower price.
Yeah.
Then you can then take the Series S into it. So yeah, Series S into account. That's £300. Where the next version up from that, or the next like comparison to PlayStation, would be the digital version at 390. That's almost £100 of difference. So
Yeah.
I know which one that I will be going for. So
Yeah.
it like you say, it's not a good look. It's going to give them a disadvantage in markets, especially when you compare it to something like the Series S, or like even like the Switch Lite. Yes, that's not. I wouldn't say that's an apples to apples comparison of consoles, but still, if you're looking for a gaming console just in general for the cheapest price, then Series S and the Switch and Switch Lite look like good options now. PS5 digital looks a little bit worse off.
Yeah. I mean, the PS5 compared to Switch, like, you're that's not the comparison that
No,
people are going to be
exactly.
making for consoles. It's going to be PlayStation and Microsoft. Like, if you're buying a Switch, you're buying a Switch. You're not going to be like, should I get the Switch or the PlayStation?
Yeah.
What should I do? But no, I mean, the big things from this, aside from people being upset about it, is the fact that, one, there are 2 points, two key points to talk about here, to think about. One is the fact that this gives Microsoft a huge opportunity to try and gain ground in these regions, especially regions where Sony typically has the upper hand. So I believe Europe is a region where Sony typically has the upper hand against Microsoft. Japan is typically a region where they have the upper hand. And Microsoft's been, they've had a week here or there, where they've had better sales for the Xbox in Japan over the PlayStation, just because they've had more supply available. So with this price increase happening in all these other regions, it gives Microsoft a good chance to have that shot in the arm and just
Yep.
make a lot of ground against PlayStation. PlayStation does have the advantage of the PlayStation name and the
Oh yeah.
PlayStation brand and the games that they put out as factors that might still not make a difference for a lot of people. They still be like, all right, well, like I like PlayStation and their stuff. So,
Yeah.
it's not like the price increase isn't that drastic for me
No.
where it's gonna like price me out entirely. But I'm sure it will be enough for some people to, reconsider and weigh their options a bit more heavily and potentially go the Xbox route. So that's that. And I also saw other people, the second point, talking about how the reason that they didn't do it here in the US is because, if I'm correct, don't quote me on this, the US is their biggest market. And it is also their competitors' biggest market. If they
Yeah.
raise the price here, it would just be an utter disaster if they raise the price here in the US.
Yeah.
That would essentially like give a huge win to Microsoft for this generation. Even if it was only like a $50 increase, again, in the US would not be the end of the world, but it's still a $50 increase, which visually on paper, it's just not a good look at all. And it would just give Microsoft a huge advantage here. And if they did that, like, yeah, they would just kind of give the generation over to Microsoft in
Yeah.
terms of sales and market share and so on and so forth. So this combined with Game Pass and the moves Microsoft has been making and all really does make a strong case for Microsoft potentially coming out on top at the end of this generation. And even if you want to get away from the conversation of who's the winner, like it just gives Microsoft a whole lot more good look, good press, good marketing, good optics,
Yeah.
and all just makes them seem more like we're for the people, as opposed to
Yeah.
Sony, who like Sony's been making questionable moves lately, in all. But I don't think that their moves that they're making that are like malicious, if you get
No,
what I
no, I
mean.
wouldn't say that. Yeah.
They're just moves that are very questionable and ones that you would not think would be the best for your business.
Yeah.
Get what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I hope that they do drop the price, that this is not a permanent thing. This is just like a temporary thing and that things do go back down in price. I would love to see them walk this back in like a couple days. I doubt that'll happen. That's like a
Yeah.
move that requires many forms of communication and people talking and so on and so forth. I doubt that's a move that'll happen anytime soon. But I do also wonder what this means now for the price of the PSVR 2, which we have in the brief
Yeah.
mentions. We'll bring it up right now. It's been announced. Sony's confirmed it's coming early 2023. No date or month, but just
No.
early 2023 is when it's coming. We've talked before saying that they can't charge any more than $500 for the PSVR 2. If they're bumping the price of the PS5 up worldwide outside the US, does that mean that the PSVR 2 is still going to be like $500 at most, or are they potentially going to be charging more for it at a base level worldwide, or is it going to be $500 in the US and more expensive elsewhere? Like, what is that going to be looking like? And again, they had the advantage of Quest. Meta Quest was getting charged up more with its price increase, and PSVR 2 is going to be seemingly a better headset. So they had that chance to come in and steal some of Facebook's Meta's market share with the Quest and all. If they raise the price of the PSVR 2, does that get in the way of things? And even raising the price of the PS5 kind of gets in the way of things too, because you need the PS5 to play the PSVR 2. It's going to be really interesting when we get that information. It just opens a whole can of worms.
Yeah, it absolutely is. A couple of things to add on to your point. I think, like, as much as I actually don't think they're going to do this, I think it would be very smart from Microsoft to cut the price of the Series X.
I saw someone say that like that'd be the ultimate mic drop.
Yeah, like if they came out and said, "Hey, we're dropping the price of the Series X by, I don't know, just $30, $50, whatever it may be," that would then create an even bigger win for them, especially if they did it in the US, because like you say, that's their biggest market. So it would be a very big boon for them, I think, if they did cut the price. I don't think they will though, because I think they're already selling the Series X at a loss.
Yeah.
Second point I was going to make was I just don't think that they charge more than 500 for the PSVR 2, even with like the increase of the price. But for the main reason, one of the biggest selling points, at least to me, about the PSVR 1 was it was so cheap. Like it wasn't that much more expensive than the console
400.
itself. It was 300 in the UK when it launched.
Okay, I could have swore it was 400 when it first launched. In the US, I mean.
Might have been 350, but still, like at the time, your options were, I think, just the Oculus. I don't think that the Vive was out yet.
Probably not. But I mean, in terms of like
remembering correctly,
in terms of entry VR, then yeah, it was just
yeah. So I mean, like, yeah. So like it was quite cheap, and I think that they will want to continue that with PSVR 2, and I don't think that they'll be able to do that if they increase the price to above $500. I think they launch it around about 400.
Wow, I don't think 400 at all. I think 500 is what they go for. I think that's what they do. 400 would be great. I would love it. I don't think that's what happens though.
Yeah, interesting conversation for sure.
Yes.
Okay, that wraps up all of our main news topics for this week. So I'm going to rattle through these brief mentions as quickly as I can again. If you want to chime in on anything, raise your hand. We'll stop for a second.
Sure.
A USA Today article claimed that on Friday, August 26th, Amazon was going to be announcing their acquisition of EA, but that was quickly retracted and counterclaimed.
Yeah, this was quite an interesting 2 hours where like I saw this on news and I was just like, what? Huh? Amazon is acquiring them? And then like all further updates came in. I was just like, no, this isn't happening as of now at all. Yeah. Maybe in the future, but not right now. Would have been a very interesting day in a news week for sure. If that was how we capped it all off.
Yeah, like as soon as I saw this, I was refreshing Twitter every 5 minutes. Like, are they actually going to do it?
Yeah, it was nervous. It was very scary.
Yeah. The IP for Surgeon Simulator and I Am Bread has been bought by publisher Tiny Build.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
The Embracer Group has completed the acquisition of Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Enix Montreal for $300 million. That is. Battlefield 2042 Season 2 Master of Arms begins August 30th and will introduce a new map, new guns, and a new specialist.
Yep, and I think they're also bringing in like classes back to the game.
Oh, okay.
So people have been asking for that instead of the specialist for like since before Battlefield 2042 came out. So good that they're finally doing that.
Yeah. Aloy has been confirmed as the main character in Netflix's Horizon show, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, which is interesting because like, the rumors were saying that the show was a prequel, was like set before the main Horizon timeline. So if she's the main character, then I'm guessing it's not set then.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm excited to see it, but I'm disappointed that it's not set like I would have loved to have seen. I think we talked about this. I would have loved to have seen it set like during the fall.
That would have been interesting. Maybe I mean it also. I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility that it could be like a flashback episode or two where we like see some of that stuff happen, especially with the visual hologram logs and everything. Like there's so much opportunity for us to visually see it. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool that we'll be seeing Aloy as the main character. I wonder who will play her. Budget though, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh, it has to be. PlayStation tournaments are coming to PS5 soon in an open beta. It's a thing fans have wanted back since PS4. Coming soon.
Cool.
We mentioned this according to multiple official sources. PSVR 2 will be launching sometime in early 2023.
Yep.
Quite a few PlayStation brief mentions this week. PlayStation is working on a Gravity Rush movie.
I am in on this. Wait, it was a movie or a show? It was a movie,
I'm
right?
fairly certain it was a movie. I'll double check.
I don't know why I thought it might have been a show. One way or another, I'm in on this. Gravity Rush is such an awesome IP. I love Gravity Rush. It was the thing that made me want to buy a Vita, except I was never able to buy a Vita. No, I was able to. I just didn't because in order just getting in on a Vita was stupidly expensive because of the price of the memory cards. It was so stupid. So, but I played Gravity Rush when it came to PS4 with the remaster, and I love Gravity Rush so much. It definitely deserves like some big full like blockbuster type treatment.
Mm.
But I also think it's very interesting that Gravity Rush of all IPs is getting a movie or a show. Like,
Yeah.
when I saw this, I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting this. Sure, go ahead, do it.
Yeah, I haven't played a whole lot of Gravity Rush. I have remastered, which I will play through at some point. But this intrigues me. I'm looking for the article to see if I can confirm if it was a show or a movie. Like I said, I'm fairly certain it was a show. But yeah, I'm excited for this.
Yeah,
A
keep
Gravity
going.
Rush movie is in development.
Movie. Okay, I don't know why I thought it was a show.
The Dark Souls 3 online servers are back online after 8 months, and apparently Dark Souls 1 and 2 will soon follow. Good for Dark Souls fans.
Yep.
Phil Spencer, in an interview with Bloomberg, said he feels good about the progress of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. I have a quote here from him saying, quote, "I feel good about the progress that we've been making, but I go into the process supportive of people who aren't as close to the gaming industry, asking good, hard questions about what is our intent, what does this mean?" End quote. Interesting. If you want to read the full article or interview, you can find it on Bloomberg. I am yet to read it, but it's good to hear things are going well.
Yeah, I saw a few quotes from it in regards to him and Activision Blizzard, just like with everything going on over there. Um the quotes didn't necessarily instill the most confidence that think he will be actively making things better or whatnot, but it's a thing that's happening.
Yeah. Last couple of brief mentions here. The Devil in Me, the next entry in the Dark Pictures anthology, will release on November 18th.
Nice.
And Pentiment, the new narrative mystery game from Tom Sawyer, there's his name, not Glenn Schofield, as I mixed him up with earlier, from Tom Sawyer's team at Obsidian Entertainment, will release on November 15th, which is my birthday.
Hey, so look at that. Tom Sawyer's gift to you.
Thanks, Tom.
Maybe you should play it as, just a courtesy to him because he's gifting it to you.
It'll be on Game Pass. I will. I'll at least try it, I guess.
Yeah.
That wraps up our brief mentions. We would talk about what we've been playing, but neither of us have a whole lot to say about anything, really.
Yeah, like I said at the top of this episode, I had maybe an hour to play anything this week, and I played Destiny 2 for all of an hour. I just, like I said, I only did the first mission of the new season. I have nothing to say about it, so I can't say anything. So I have played nothing. I'll have stuff to talk about next week.
Yeah, and I played the first mission of Destiny 2. I don't have a whole lot to say, or Destiny 2's latest season. I don't have a whole lot to say. I have played some Have a Nice Death, but I'm going to save that for next week when we have a little bit more time.
Yeah, so it was a packed week this week, packed episode.
Yeah.
Quite a bit to talk about.
Yep. So that will conclude this very packed episode of the Play to Win podcast. Thank you all very much for watching and listening. Just head over to our website, playtowingames.wordpress.com. You will get, all of our content in one place. Go and read Tyler's whole Roller Drum review. You can read it over there. You can watch it on YouTube. Very good review. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Go ahead and check it out.
Thank you. That was a fun one to put together. I was amazed I was able to get it done in like 4 days, to be quite honest. The writing, recording, editing was all done in I swear to God, like 4 days. I think I wrote it. I wrote it between Thursday and Friday. No. When did I start writing it? I think I wrote it between Friday and Saturday, I'm pretty sure. Recorded and edited it all Sunday. And then I had it uploaded, ready to go for Monday.
Nice.
I've never done it that fast, but this game was also so much easier to do it for. It was nice to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah. I also see that Roller Drum and somebody who works on the game liked a few of our tweets on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Felt good about that.
Yeah. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Play to Win Game, where you will get updates on the show, any random stuff we post. You'll hear about, reviews coming out, things that we're playing, maybe things we're talking about, stuff like that. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Take the notification bell so you know when new videos go live. They will be, going live. Podcast every Monday. Might have some other stuff in the pipeline soon. So go ahead and subscribe to the notification bell and subscribe on podcast services so you can listen to the podcast. It goes live every Monday. 5-star reviews, shares, comments, likes, everything helps us out. probably more than you would realize. Again, like I said, algorithms tricky to navigate. Everything helps us out a bunch. Tyler, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter, Tyler Miller 2496. I talk about games, movies, anime, music sometimes as well. Shows I'm watching too. Haven't really been on there that much these past couple days, but chat with me over there about any of those things, and just other stuff. Just chat with me, guys. I'm down to talk.
You can find me on Twitter at badlynet, BADLYNET, all one word. I tweet sometimes. Don't expect too much. Thank you all very much for watching. We will see you all next week for episode 74.
Have a good one.